Welcome, Internet, to episode 6 of my Manor Lords Let's Play featuring Ditz the Mountain King. I expect this will be the last episode in this particular series. When this summer's major update releases, I may do another playthrough with the new features. I'm not sure, haven't decided. I guess that will partly depend on how this goes. And even if I do, it will probably maybe just be like one episode, maybe two, just to kind of go over some of the new features and talk about how I feel about them. I probably won't play another campaign all the way through to completion. Before we get into the video proper, this took a very long time for me to actually finally release. And the reason for that is that I had recorded this months ago. In fact, like right after I had done the recording for the previous episode, I basically went straight into this one and finished it off. With the intent of, editing everything together and having it all out in like a couple weeks or a month or so. Before the major patch would come out and add like the castles and stuff like that. But as I was editing everything together, I realized that I somehow lost or accidentally deleted a large chunk of the narration for the very end of the video, the actual battle of Altbruch, and I wanted to re-record it, but I kept putting it off, doing other projects first, and it just kept falling further and further behind, and I ended up basically sitting on it for months before finally sitting down and re-recording the final chunk of narration. Thankfully, I had kept some notes on what was happening and what I wanted to talk about. Kept some notes on some talking points, but it just took me forever to finally sit down and do it. And in the meantime, Manor Lords did get that castle update. It was in beta for several months during the late summer and early fall, and I did play a little bit of it. And then it is even now gone public. The castles patch is now available to play, so this video is already basically obsolete by the time you're watching it. Sorry about that. I'll try to do better next time. In the previous episode, I captured Loiterflucht from Hildebolt, which now only leaves a single territory left under Hildebolt's control, which is Altbruch, I think is how you would pronounce that. So in this episode, I plan on capturing this last territory of Altbruch, which I think will end the game. But full disclosure here, I've never actually finished a game of Manor Lords before, so I don't know exactly how this works yet. I guess we will see in the next few hours. So I know I have a strong enough military to take this final territory because I had just captured Loiterflucht in the previous episode. In fact, I think my military is about as strong as it can be because the game won't actually let me recruit any additional militia units. However, simply fighting another battle and ending the game here would not make for a very great episode, so first, I'm actually going to build up Loiterflucht a little bit, as if I was actually going to have to sustain all of those settlements beyond the end of this episode. Besides, I'm going to have to wait for troops to, well, actually, I guess all my units are full except for the retinue, so I just have to buy new retinue to replace the ones that died. But anyway, Loiterflucht is going to be a valuable territory for me at this point because it is a rich source of wild animals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a small hunting and fishing village that can help support Erlhart and Leineck. And when I say small village, this time I actually do mean small village. This is not going to be like what happened with the small mining town of Leineck, which actually, turned into a village that is almost the size of my main city. So I'm going to try to get at least 2 development points so that I can take the trapping and the advanced skinning upgrades in order to produce as much meat as possible in Loiterflucht. And I might also take the advanced pawn keeping upgrade if I'm able to get a 3rd level and take that. So I will need to get some houses up to level 2, which means I will need, at the very least, a church. And if I need to get any houses up to level 3, it means I'll need a tavern. And then I will also be creating some pack stations in order to send meat and fish back to the other 2 regions. But before I can do any of those things, I do have a bit of cleanup work to do, because at the end of the last episode, some bandits came through and actually burned down some buildings in Linek. So I need to go and repair those. And they managed to sneak in while I was battling Hildebolt in Loiter Flute. So, like, I just didn't see that this was happening at all. So, good on the bandits for being clever enough to sneak in my back door while my army was out on the other side of the map. But they did burn down a couple buildings. I think in the previous episode I had already rebuilt like one of the pack stations that got burnt down. And the other building that got burnt down is right here. It was my church. Those bastards burned down the church. What a bunch of assholes. Well, I guess the good news is they left the tavern intact, so, at least the tavern actually provides a real service. The more valuable thing was left intact. I also, before I go into Loiter Flute, I want to buff the economies of both Linek and Erlhart a little bit. So my militia is now fully equipped, which means I don't need all of these weapons that I'm producing in Linek anymore, which means that I can start trading them away. And doing that will give me a much larger buffer of regional wealth, which I can use during drought and famine to import food. So over here in Linek, I'm going to come to my trade post, and I'm going to start setting up some exports. So first of all, I was importing sidearms. So I'm going to keep 36 of everything because that's what I need to equip a full unit. So if I recruit a new unit, I'll have enough to resupply that unit. Like, for example, if a unit of like archers, dies completely, then I'll be able to re-equip them right away. So I've got a bunch of war bows, so I can sell war bows. I'm going to sell small shields. Again, I'm going to keep 36 of them because I've got plenty of small shields and I've got plenty of war bows. I will definitely sell war bows, since those are the 2 that I have the most of. I'll get the most money from those the most quickly. What else do I have a large surplus? I have a surplus of mail armor. Where is mail armor in this list? Here it is. I don't know, 520. That's kind of expensive. I don't want to dump all of my cash and then not have any regional wealth left over to be able to buy things at all. So I'm going to leave this how it is for now. Oh boy. Wow, okay, apparently they won't even take my charcoal anymore because the market is so oversupplied. Well, that sucks. And I do have a lot of extra citizens. I think I'm going to hold off on assigning them until the stuff is rebuilt, so that A, I have more people working on the construction, and also B, I think the reason there are this many unassigned families is because there's a handful of them that are supposed to be working the destroyed buildings, and I don't think they can go back to work until the buildings are repaired. So once the buildings are repaired, I'll have a better idea of what the workforce looks like. I'm going to come over here to Erlhart as well, and I'm generating a crap ton of weapons here, so I can trade some of these away, but I don't have as much regional wealth to spend. I will keep 36 gambesons. Again, enough to equip an entire unit if I need to. Exporting tools. I don't want to export ale because I want to keep a buffer of ale. Don't import any crops, and exporting planks. Or planks over here. Also, a crap ton of planks. Okay. And then I think I might also need to import some more mules. 2, 4, 6, 8. How many mules do I have? I need some more mules. And I'm going to go back over to Lineck and check that as well. What do I have? I have 2, 4, 6. I also have 8 here. And that looks like that should cover everyone, because I think these two are going to have 2 mules on them. Okay, so that's all good. And speaking of food, I am going to have to babysit the bread trade between Earlhart and Lineck. Because one of these cities or the other keeps running out of food. So right now, Earlhart has a large surplus of food and Lineck doesn't. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on this, and when the food supply for Earlhart starts falling, and, Lineck has a large buffer of food, I'm going to need to manually come over here and stop sending quite as much bread over. I think I also have a couple level 2 homes over here, which I could add backyards or make them artisans. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to create another baker, and I'm going to create another brewer. And then these other houses can potentially also become artisans once they get leveled up to level 2, once they get some clothing and some extra food. Okay, so now I think I can move my attention over to Loiter Flute. I can probably unpause the game. I'm going to have to come back and check over here every now and then for new citizens moving in. I do want to actually add some more farms. Wheat, fallow wheat. So this is going to be wheat, fallow wheat, I guess. Set that one to low. Make sure it does the closer ones first. All right, so I'm going to unpause. And I can come over here and we'll go ahead and assign. All right, so where do I want to put this? I mean, the most important thing to work is this wild animals. So I should probably put them over there. And I think people can walk down this way. So if I put a woodcutter over here, I think they will be able to chop this stuff. All right, I'm going to build a plentiful settlement so I have lots of extra resources so I don't have to be in quite as much of a rush to get things like food going. And it'll give me lots of planks. And I think it also gave me some more regional wealth to start with. All right, so we've got our camp, we've got our hitching post. Let's go ahead and put down like a little road network. I'll put down the lumber yard first. Okay, and after the woodcutter, the next most important thing is to get some hunters going. And then, in the interest of having as much food as possible, I'm going to put down a fishing hut. But I'm going to make this a lower priority building because it's further away and the hunters are more important. And I'm going to need a small neighborhood. So let's take a look at where water is. So here's a good source of water. So I can probably put some homes over in here. And I'm also going to move my hitching post. And then when that's done and I have some planks, actually, which I will need, so let me go ahead and put down some planks. or a sawmill. I'm going to put another hitching post, but I'm not going to finish that because I want to make sure that my first two oxen go to this hitching post over here so that they'll work the logging camp. And this is going to be a market, granary, storehouse. I want to get those built quickly. All right, and some homes. I'm doing like a kind of a cul-de-sac thing over here. I don't like that. Let's see, what if I do this? Why did it not go all the way around? Okay, hold on, let me pause for a sec so these things don't get, like, built. I probably shouldn't be paying too much attention to how these things look because, again, this is like the last episode. I shouldn't, before I basically finish, but I guess I'm just kind of anal like this. All right, so let's see now if this works. Just build a temporary road, go down to the middle of that arch. Oh my gosh, they just won't do it the way I want it to do. All right, so let's try maybe get 2 houses. That's better. Wait, what? Am I already out of wood? Guess I am. So this is 3 houses, just 3 houses for now. 4 houses. Let's see if I can at least get the 5th house. Oh, I can get the last house. Cool. All right. All right, go back to work. All right, so this... All right, we've got a hunting camp. Is up and running. Get them working that. And something I always like to do is make a little path that goes into the woods in the hopes that this speeds up gathering. I try not to draw it over trees or bushes if I can avoid it. All right, and the granary is built. So I'm going to assign someone to work the granary so that they'll come pick up all this like food and stuff that's just lying on the ground. And now I have the hitching post. I'm going to wait until my sawmill is built, and then I'm going to order another ox. And then once I have the second ox here, I can start building this hitching post and put another ox there. And go ahead and start putting in some backyards. I have extra cash, so I don't have to worry about not being able to afford an extra ox. I should be able to build several backyards. Ugh, another royal tax increase. And I need planks before I can build any more of those backyards. So I'll wait until I have planks so I can build, chicken coops and stuff like that. Okay, now I can assign someone to the storehouse. So they will start picking up all the other stuff, the tools and stone and firewood and so forth. Which reminds me, I need to build a firewood cutter. But this I don't need until winter, so I'll set that to a low priority. And then once all of the food and stuff is picked up, I can unassign the granary worker. Okay, go ahead and order that second ox. Get some people working. All right, and I think that was the last of that, so I can go ahead and start assigning people. I don't want to assign it to work the where the deer are, because I think chopping down the forest would probably cause the deer to move. All right, and it looks like my storehouse worker has moved all of the goods, or maybe not. Did he just like dump them? I'm not sure what he did. All right, so we've still got some homelessness to deal with. And I'll buy some goats, and then the other one's going to have pigs. And now I just need to wait. So now I can assign both of my initial ox to these workplaces and order a new ox. And I already got my first development point for Loiter Flute. So as I indicated, I'm going to take trapping, which will increase my supply of meat, give some passive meat. And then the next milestone requires 2 level 2 burgage plots, which means I'll have to get 2 of these homes up to level 2, which means I will need a church. And I'm unlikely to ever get orchards, so I'll go ahead and put a vegetable garden there. I can always tear it down and put an orchard there later if I want. I should also make sure that I'm setting my reserves. So right now my logging camp can only hold 28 logs, so I'm going to come over here and set my lumber reserve to be, let's say, 25. How much can this hold? This can hold up to 5, so we'll make it, for now, 23, I guess. Whoops. And I'm going to be building more logging camps as well. In fact, I might already have enough room to do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and plop a second one down. Well, no, let's go ahead and turn this into a stable as well, and then I can order another ox. Did my fishing cabin ever get built? No, we're still waiting on that. I'm also going to build a home over here. That's not quite how I want that to look. I was hoping to have the main house be on the road over here instead of like in this weird corner. What happens if I build it on the other side? Better. What I was hoping for is to have the houses here and then the backyard be down here. But it does not look like that's going to happen. So, oh, and it is October, so I should probably assign someone to the woodcutter. And that leaves me with nobody left to do any construction. I can go ahead and order another ox to make sure that I have it. So now I don't have any money for more backyards, but that's fine because all my population are living in homes with backyards. All right, I'm going to stop work on all those buildings. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to assign people to the granary and storehouse, so they'll start working the market and hopefully get me some positive modifiers so that I can start actually growing this population. I'm also going to go ahead and build my church. Let's see, where would be a nice place to build the church? I'm thinking of giving it a nice scenic overlook. So put it down over here somewhere. I don't really need to focus on building that fishing hut quicker because I don't have the laborers to work it. So while I'm waiting for stuff to get built, let's go ahead and take a look at the other settlements and see what's going on. So Earlhart is down to only 4 months of food. Oh, we can do some upgrades. Cool. Upgrade, upgrade. Very nice. Ooh, and another one over here. Upgrade. Anyone else want to upgrade? Oh, we got some people over here that can upgrade. Upgrade. Upgrades for everybody. And then I'll have to come back and give them all backyards. These ones up here will probably turn into artisans. Let's see. No upgrades over here. All right, so let's take a look at Linex. So Linex only has 2 months of food left, but that is better than the 1 month of food that we started the episode with. Let's see. So my church is back up and running. And my pack station is back up and running, and there's people working it, and now I only have 1 unassigned family, so they apparently went ahead and worked those buildings once those buildings became reactivated. So that's cool, that's good. And it looks like we've been selling our gear, and we've got a hefty surplus. So I'm going to go and take a look at what else I can sell. So mail armor, I think, was the other thing that I had the most of, right? Yes, mail armor. So we'll go ahead and establish a trade route for that. Once again, we'll keep 36. And let's see, pole arms. Do I want to do pole arms? Plate. I've got more pole arms than plate mail, so we'll do pole arms. And I'm going to go ahead and assign my last unassigned worker. And we can upgrade some homes. That'll give us a little more population to do any more construction projects if we need them. I think I could do some more upgrades over here. These are level 3. Okay, lots and lots and lots of home upgrades. So that will increase the population over there by quite a bit. Earlhart is still not generating a lot of wealth. I'm not quite sure why that is. They bought some lambs. Bought some berries and salt. Okay. Well, what do I have a lot of? I have a lot of small shields. Well, let's go see if what I can sell. Oh, and I have logs now, so I can build that tannery that I was talking about. And while I'm waiting for the church to be built, it looks like we've got enough food and people are starting to forget about having been homeless. So my approval rating is up above 50, which means Loiterflute should start growing. What the hell happened here? Why do I have rubble in Earlhart? Stuff in Earlhart burned down? When did that happen? Huh. Okay. All right, got my church built. Did I ever get the tannery built? Yes, I did. We'll go ahead and assign someone to it. No, actually, I want a fisherman before I start upgrading all that stuff. So let's get that built ASAP. And hopefully I'll get someone moving into this house pretty much immediately. Or maybe not. Okay, there we go. Got someone in our fisherman hut. So that person is our fisherman, of course. And we'll go ahead and expand their living space. Probably should have built a backyard first, but oops. All right, and now since everybody is... since there aren't any new buildings being built, and the only new construction projects are homes being upgraded, I believe I can assign everybody, and I should be okay. So what do we have in our food stalls? We've got some bread, we've got some meat, we'll get some fish soon, and we have some firewood for everyone as well. How are we doing on firewood? We've got 77 firewood. Do we still need our woodcutter? And since I don't have any construction projects right now, I don't need anybody guiding the ox. So I'll put him back at the woodcutter and then also work the logging camp. And oh, we got our first home that can be upgraded to level 2. So let's do that. And then hopefully at least one more home will follow soon. Okay, now we have multiple homes that can be upgraded to level 2. If only I had more logs. Well, I'm working on it. In any case, it doesn't matter. I only need 2. Once I get the second one built, I'm good. So the other houses, I can go ahead and start doing backyards once those are ready. And then how's this going? They're still 48%. Are they able to get timber without someone working at the... That might be the hang-up. Okay, I might need to... It looks like nobody is... Oh, no, actually, they are transporting. Where is he transporting to? Okay, so it looks like even without any laborers and no one working at the stable, the people who are upgrading their own homes are still able to use the oxen. They're just, of course, really slow and inefficient about doing it. So, that's cool. Oh, and the other houses can be upgraded now, too. I don't know, maybe I will be able to get a third development point. All right, and we got 2 level 2 houses here in Loiterflucht, so that means we can get another development point. So once again, as I indicated, I'm going to take advanced skinning, which will double the meat production for this settlement. And the next milestone is 5 level 2 houses, which actually is definitely achievable. I've already got 3, so I would only need 2 more level 2 houses. So let's go ahead and give these people a backyard as well, which I can't actually afford because I don't have enough regional wealth. So that's fine. Are there 2 families here yet, though? No, I do not have 2 families yet. But hopefully a second family will move in soon. What I can start doing is I can start upgrading these homes. Once I get more logs. All right, once again, let's go take a look at our other settlements. Make sure we aren't running out of food. I don't see anything that can be upgraded. Are these people working? No, they are not. Apparently when the homes burned down, they stopped doing their jobs. So who's working these places now? Okay, well, I'm going to unassign these real quick. Again, I really wish that there would be something in here that would show you that people are unassigned. All right, so let's see. Those are level 2. So all of these can have artisan backyards now. So what do I want more of? Do I want more bread? Do another tailor. And another tailor. Oh, I actually need someone to work this as well. That's part of the problem. All right, I think I can unassign the woodcutter for a little bit. All right, and now with an extra worker, I can start working on other projects in Loiterflucht. So, since I have some level 2 houses, they could potentially be generating, or they are generating wealth. So I can actually build a manor over here now. So let's just go find a nice place to put a manor. Oh, I do need some more planks and some more lumber. So guess let's wait until that stuff gets built. In the meantime, maybe more people will move in. Okay, so now I have a manor built in Loiterflucht, which means that I can start collecting taxes. I don't want to collect a lot of taxes because A, they don't have a lot of money, and B, I want to keep population growth pretty high to fill out all of the homes that I'm building and make sure that I have enough workers to do the things that I want to do. I built it pretty far from the rest of the settlement, and the reason for that is because it's kind of like a forward operating base. I may eventually put some fortifications and stuff along this side of the manor in order to defend against potential attacks from bandits or from Hildebolt coming from Albrecht, and also to basically act as a staging area for my eventual attack on that region. But I'm only going to do that if I have the time and the resources for it after I get this settlement doing the things that I need it to do. The one other thing that it let me do is it gave me an extra retinue. So I am actually right away going to build the garrison tower in order to max out the size of that retinue. And I'm going to need more planks in order to do that. So let's try to get planks. Once again, I will temporarily disable my production limit. And I can also buy another ox and assign more woodcutters. Oh, and I have more houses that can be upgraded. So let's go ahead and just take care of that real quick. And that, I think, will be all 5. So that will get me another development point. I'm not sure what I'll spend it on quite yet, but I'll have it in my back pocket for whatever I do decide I want to use it on. And I think I needed 15 planks, so I think I'm good for now. So let's go ahead and reinstate our, 52 log limit. And hopefully now with 3 people working in logging, I'll actually get more logs. And Tomon, is that one of the ones from here? Yes, it is. So I'm going to unassign that and wait. Shoot. I'm going to have to do some more damn ox juggling. Oh, well. Okay, so can I... Now I need one more log. Oh, logging is so slow in this game. Okay, now go ahead and build that garrison tower. And now that I'm trading away weapons, both towns are generating a bunch of wealth. We've got Leineck is up over 3,400 regional wealth, and Earlhart is up over 1,200, which is awesome. Just waiting for one more log. My kingdom for a log. Okay, well, finally got our log. So now I can actually support a retinue here of up to 24. So this is basically the max military now. Other than recruiting mercenaries, which I will have to make sure that I remember to do when I actually do attack Hildebolt. Okay, so Loiter Fluked now has a bunch of level 2 houses. It's got logging, it's got hunting. The one thing that I still need to do is I actually need a few more level 1 burgage plots to get up to the next village level. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to start building a trade network. So I need specifically I need pack stations in order to start sending all the meat and fish to Earlhart and Lineck. Thankfully, I don't think I've had any droughts, so both of those settlements, both those regions are still doing pretty well. But in the event of a drought, I want to make sure that I have some extra food going there. So I'm going to build probably over here, because I like all my trade infrastructure to be along the King's Road. I'm going to build a little trade hub. The focus of which is going to be on pack stations, but I'm also going to go ahead and build a trade post and a livestock trader in case I need those in the future. And I'm also going to plop down a few extra homes. Okay, and now we have a little trading outpost over here, which also got us enough houses to build or to earn another development point. So I'm going to have to figure out what kind of development point I want. But first, I'm going to go ahead and add some extra housing over there. And we'll go ahead and put in some backyards. Okay, and we've got some bandits to deal with. So let's see how this works out now with our new settlement. Okay, so I can definitely rally these guys. There's only 5 of them though, so guess I'll rally them over there. Try to rally everyone else. So let's see what happens. Let's see if the bandits chase my one little retinue. Yeah, they seem to be going in the direction of the retinue. Oh, my troops are actually moving pretty fast. They might actually get here. Luckily, the bandits seem to be just strolling and taking their own sweet time. And the only stragglers are, I think, my retinue from Earlhart. Somehow the retinue from Linek got here first. Not sure how that happened. Okay, so crossbows.
Pick up the pace, sire! Run, my lord! Run, my lord! Attack! Die, bastard! Stand and fight! Orders. Stand and fight! Orders. Stand fast! Kill them! To battle, my liege!
Oh, wow. Those bandits broke before they even got into melee distance.
Pick up the pace! Your orders! Charge, men! Run! My lord! Move quickly! Run, men! Faster! My lord! Run!
Okay, was that all the bandits that quickly? Alright, so everybody from Earlhart, go back to Earlhart. Everybody from Linek, go back to Linek. And that's it. Okay, so now at Loiter Flucht, I got my little trade post set up. And I have some families already that have moved into these homes. So I'm going to go ahead and start working the pack stations. Okay, so now in one of these pack stations, I'm going to need to order some mules as well. eventually. So going to assign a person, and this one will go to Linek, and I'm going to send Linek meats, and I'm going to get back charcoal. And then similarly over here, I'm going to send this one to Earlhart, and it's going to send meat, and it's going to get back... what's a good import from Earlhart? I could take ale. I don't have a tavern built yet. I could get shoes. Let's do... we'll do ale. I can build a small tavern here. And then we're going to send fish. Where's fish? Where is fish? There's fish. And we'll get back, let's say, I don't know, maybe clothes. Earlhart builds lots of clothes, right? Shoes. Is Earlhart still producing lots of shoes? All right, and I don't have enough workers yet to assign this one, but when this one does get assigned, it's going to go to Linek, and it's going to send Linek fish and bring back maybe tools. Yeah, for now we'll say tools. All right, and then when I get more people moving in here, I can assign them to work those other pack stations. And eventually I'll want someone at the livestock trading post so that I can start importing mules. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at what kind of options I have. So I could do orchards, but I don't think I'm going to have enough homes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the advanced pond keeping, which will let me fish all year round so that I will have more fish exports to send to the other two regions. And now I'm at the point where I'm going to start needing some level 3 homes. So... that may or may not happen. I can go ahead and build a tavern in anticipation of getting to level 3. And I can build a salt mine. This settlement is moving along. And I can get another... if I'm going to be doing fishing all year round, I should have another fisherman. Oh, we've got dead bodies, so I need to do a corpse pit. I'll hide the corpse pit over here. Get all these dead bandit bodies cleaned up. Oh gosh, I'm literally just like waiting for someone to come and like dig a tiny hole. Come on, somebody, anybody, come dig a hole. It's too bad I can't just build like a set of stairs going down this hill here. Okay, are these some workers? Oh, yeah, there's some workers. Okay, so now we'll leave one worker to build the things that are getting built, and then the rest will work in the corpse pit. Actually, what I'll do 2. I will assign... I'll assign someone to the church to bury our people. And I need to actually disband all my crap. Hopefully they weren't sitting around for too long and not working. So I have enough people that I think I can start like actually explicitly assigning people to workplaces. So I'm going to unassign all of my workers. And with Looter Flucht built up a little bit and basically doing its job of providing meat to the rest of the region, I think I can go ahead and start restocking my retinue. All right, so now I have the retinue full. So my militia is at max strength. It's as full as it possibly can be. I can't build any more units. One thing that I can do, though, is I can go back to my retinue and I can start giving them armor. Because I believe I have some armor. All right, now I have a retinue full of some serious dudes. Let's see, I could armor up all these guys, too. Like, it's not really that expensive. But I think I'll hold off. I can go ahead and import. I can import armor. And helmets. So what am I getting? I'm getting tools, charcoal. So you know what? Let's do helmets. And whenever I start trading here, I'll import plate armor, and I'll export I can export hides or leather, maybe? I mean, that's the only other thing this town really produces. That and planks. No, planks have no value anymore. I could maybe send clay. Where's clay? That also has little to no value. What about meat? Well, I can send meat. I could probably create a butchery is what I should probably create so that I can get some more advanced stuff. And then what was I sending over here? That's ale, bread. All right, if I ever do this, then I'll do also clay, or actually no, I'll send salt in exchange for, say, shoes. Oh, and it looks like, you know what? Something else I forgot to do is I could set a policy here. So I can increase the breeding rate of the wild animals in order to be more likely to keep this full. And I wasn't doing that, and I should have been doing it all along as soon as I built the manor, but I spaced it. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away a hunter. And I'm going to start producing salt instead in order to let the wild animal population rebound. Yeah, now I'm having the problem where I don't have any food in Loiterflucht because I'm exporting all of it to the other regions. But hopefully, once the animals rebound and the fish repopulate the pond, this region should be okay. You know, it occurs to me that I think I've played through several years now in this episode, but I've only seen maybe one bandit attack. And I feel like bandit attacks are getting less frequent. I thought they were typically every year. And I wonder, and I'm just completely guessing here, but I'm wondering if the frequency of bandit attacks might be inversely proportional to the king's tax rate. And if so, that would kind of make sense. If the king is levying more taxes, it would presumably be in order to support a standing army that is actively policing trade routes and killing or arresting bandits and raiders, which would make sense, which would explain why maybe there aren't as many. I don't know if the game is like trying to create that level of world building. Probably not, but it was just a thought that I had. And of course, now that I've said that, there will probably be a bandit attack in the next few months here, but I don't know, we'll see. Well, anyway, as addictive as it might be to manage and grow these settlements, I probably shouldn't dawdle any longer. So I think now is as good a time as any to make that final push to Altbruch. First thing I will do is I will take a look at whether I can armor up any of my militia first. And before I make my claim, I'm also going to levy my militia and retinue, and I'll get them into position near Altbruch. And this will probably be very expensive, but I should have plenty of money to spare, especially since this is, the end of the game anyway. So presumably once I take this last territory, the game will be over, and I won't need the money anymore. So I might as well just probably spend as much as I possibly can. And actually, before I make this claim, an important lesson that I learned in the previous episode is that I should hire my mercenaries before claiming a region and starting a fight. That way, I have more troops, and disposable troops at that, and it also prevents Hildebolt from recruiting those same troops. There's probably, and also, they tend to appear in like the most inconvenient locations scattered across the map. So I will also need some time to move them into position, as well as positioning my militia, especially in this small confined map where like Hildebolt's forces, could spawn like right next to, my little village, whereas my mercenaries might be all the way on the backside. So I'll need time to get them to march across the map, potentially. And if I end up having to pay for several months of the mercenary contracts, that's fine. Again, I have plenty of silver. My towns are currently thriving economically, so I have plenty of money to spend. And again, it's the end of the game, so I'm not going to need it after this anyway. So now I think I basically just wait for these militia and mercenaries to get across the map and into position, and then I am ready to take this final territory. All right, let's do it. Let's press our claim. And now I just wait for Hildebolt to refuse the claim and send his military out. Up, and there we go. It's battle time. Where's the actual battlefield going to be? Oh, perfect. Haha. I would have thought the battlefield would have been in Altbruch, but no. Apparently, it's right here where I built my manor and positioned all my forces. So this will probably be even easier than I thought. We'll just put everybody right here at the top of this hill, so they have to rush up the hill and probably get themselves all fatigued. And if I have to go on the offensive, then I'll be attacking downhill with all the momentum, and my archers will be shooting downhill. So again, this might prove to be pretty easy unless Hildebolt just has overwhelming force. But I've got a maxed out military, so unless Hildebolt's allowed to break the rules, I don't think he can possibly have more troops than I do. I don't think I can be outnumbered in this case. So I feel pretty good about this. I'll put some of these archers overlooking the cliff where they can shoot down and kind of create like a little crossfire scenario. Almost like a ship, firing a raking shot. If their troops are in a line, I want to be able to shoot across them because that kind of increases the profile of target. I don't know if the game really takes that into consideration in terms of accuracy of shots or whatever, but realistically, I think that's what you would probably want to do. If you can be stationed perpendicular to their lines and shooting into them, then you don't have to worry as much about overshooting or undershooting, right? You just shoot into the middle, and even if you overshoot or undershoot, you're probably still going to hit somebody. Let's see if all of their troops just come straight up this hill, or if they split up their forces and try to send some of them around to flank. Right now, it looks like they're all coming right for me. Oh, nope, I don't know. Now it looks like some of them might be going around. But if so, it's just a couple. So that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, geez, look at these poor spearmen at the front here. Oh god, they're just going to get annihilated. What are they doing? Oh, they are just getting ripped to shreds. Pfft. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a hard no, Hildebolt. All right, let's set these troops to back up so that they don't get overrun by the melee units, and then I can start moving my melee units up to fight. Yeah, for many, many years of playing Total War games, I think I always got this particular strategy wrong. Like I would always start the battles with my ranged units in a back line behind my melee units, and it was only like maybe a few years ago that I learned that more realistically, the way that it would probably work would actually be that at the start of the battle, your archers and ranged units would actually be in the front, and they would run backwards behind your melee units after firing off maybe a few volleys to soften up the incoming army. And yeah, they definitely have a couple detachments that are trying to flank me. Let's see if I can maybe take some pot shots at them as they're going around. Are my guys even in range to shoot them? Looks like they're just shooting right through the ground. I don't know if they're hitting them or not. They're turning around and coming back. Yeah, it's not exactly great AI right there. All right, I got to do something about their archers. All right, let's get all my melee units. See if I can get them all to kind of fall back a little bit, hopefully outside the range of their archers, so I don't lose more troops than I have to. And then in the meantime, my archers will just shoot down. Oof. Yep, they are just getting slaughtered. What are my losses looking like? That's it. I don't even have to defend a second wave, I guess. Well, okay then. This is actually the first time that I've ever played a game of Manor Lords through to a victory condition. So I wasn't even sure if it would just immediately end, or if I would have to actually like colonize and do anything in that last territory. I kind of feel like maybe what they should probably have is force you to have to hold it for a period of time. So you actually do have to build a little bit, keep your military there, and potentially defend against a wave of counterattackers. But nope, as soon as you capture that final territory on the domination mode, it's just over. So huzzah! I won my first ever game of Manor Lords, and you even saw the achievement pop in the bottom corner, so you know that is the first time, at least on this account, that I've done that. And look at this. Almost 10-1 AI troops killed versus my own soldiers lost. And I did lose 397 villagers. Were those two like bandit attacks? Are those? So what's the difference between a soldier loss and a villager loss? So if I lose them as militia in battle, are they soldiers? Or are they also villagers? So do the dead villagers include the 385 soldiers lost, and then I only lost another 12 villagers on top of the militia? Or is it 385 militia lost, and then another 397 villagers who died? Or maybe the soldiers are the mercenaries, and villagers would be militia? I don't know. I'm not sure what it means, but in any case, those are pretty good numbers. Again, depending on how those are counted, that's almost a 10-1 or 5-1 kill to death ratio. So pretty solid performance. And now the game will let me continue playing, so if I do want to build in Altbruch, I guess I can. So, I don't know, let's see what happens here. Disband everyone. And I'm using the hotkeys now. I have them all assigned to a hotkey that represent the region that they came from, so it's easy to get all the troops back to where they are supposed to be. So this will be a pro tip for any players who are watching. This is a good way to quickly get your troops back to where they can be disbanded. Use the control key and a number key to assign them all the troops from one particular region to a group, and then you can quickly move them all back to where they belong and disband them. So yeah, we're ending the game with all of my villages in pretty good shape. They all have a surplus of food, fuel, pretty high population. We've got over 500 here. Decent approval. And coming over into Linek, again, we've got a nice little surplus of supplies. Almost 400, much higher happiness or approval. Lots of regional wealth, thousands of coin in regional wealth. Loiter Flute even ended up having a decent little village going. Almost 150 population. Well, I guess one last thing to do is take a walk around and, where am I? Where did it start me out at? Am I in Earlhart? Anyway, take a walk around and give a little tour of my my holdings. Wait, I think I'm going the wrong way. Wait, which way? Which way should I go? Where am I? Can I go inside? I wonder if there's actually stairs in here to get up to the upper level. No, it won't let me in. I guess I can't walk my own ramparts. How the heck do you get up there? There's not even enough room inside of here to have a staircase. Oh, and here's all my troops. I've moved them all back to their home regions and then forgot to disband them. So, oops. Good job, men. Well done. You are all heroes of the kingdom. Oh wow, there's even apples in the apple trees. I had never noticed that. That's pretty incredible detail. Alright, and now we can basically just admire the beautiful countryside. I wonder if the game will actually let me walk out of bounds. And if so, I wonder how far out of bounds I can walk. It's gonna take a while, but I'm gonna see how far it'll let me go. Jeez, how far out of bounds will they let me go?